Oh, is it working now?
Is it working? Fucking headache.
Started it. I'll take it.
No, man, it won't load for me. No, well, who gives a shit? I don't need to see
Give
my
it a quick
face.
refresh. I mean, it loaded instantly for me at FTL. Open up that net.
Oh, open that net. Wait, my net is open if it's showing up on your stream. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch!
Oh,
Hola!
there they are.
Buongiorno! Hey! Hello!
Hey.
Come see, come sa! Wee wee!
Can you tell we just started and we're not
Cats
tired?
bouncing on rainbows. Yeah, we haven't even started yet, and we're super stoked.
Yeah, things are going good. It's going good. It's weekend. Weekend was good. The weekend was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of. I think the only thing that was bad is that I think we had plans to go to the art gallery, but that did not happen.
Ooh.
This weekend, sadly. We'll go next weekend.
Did you get out at all?
Yeah. We went out. This is inside baseball, but Joe had a concert thing at her school. Is 100 years old, and so they had a big 100-year celebration, and she was there playing her ukulele, and it was a really cool thing. It was really. They had a bunch of displays of like what the school looked like in 1917. And there was a bunch of people that were at the school in like the 70s and stuff. And
Jesus.
It was cool. It was, yeah.
That Canada's only 150 years old. This school's 100 years old.
Yeah, so it's it was significant. It was very cool. It was very cool. And we went what do we do? Today we were just kind of running around doing silly stuff, playing with the kids outside and things like that. So it was a kid day. I can see your Twitter.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the comics' fucking tweet. 9:31, mate. Step up your game. We were doing all that shit talking before the fucking.
We were talking too much shit before we were actually ready to go at 9:30, but.
Good times. So let's get into it. What have you been playing? Like what's
So I've been playing
other than Forza 7 because we've seen a lot of Forza 7 on stream.
A lot of Forza 7.
Hey,
yes,
cups of butter.
That game continues to be a great game. I think the loot box thing was blown completely out of proportion. I've never noticed a difference between my credit intake, as it were, like for races and things like that. So I think the loot box thing is a I don't know. It's a non-issue. I think we'll see if it gets worse, but right now it's really like a nothing. Now,
did I see it properly that loot boxes are in that new Lord of the Rings game?
Yes.
Jesus
Now
Christ.
those ones are a little bit more. I think those ones are a little bit more dirty, because you're getting loot for you get the loot boxes for like gear and stuff, and I don't know. It seems kind of it seems bad that you would pay real money for that kind of stuff. Those are controversial. Well played, Buttercup.
I don't know how I feel about like the more that there's lube boxes. The more that there are lube boxes in games.
The lube boxes seem a little dirty, I think.
Yeah. I get very I don't know, I don't enjoy them as much. Like, and then we were talking the same thing. We were talking.
Hate them. I hate them for for several reasons, but one of the things, Marvel Heroes, a game I really like and play a lot, started implementing loot boxes for things like costumes, and I kind of hate that. Like, if I want a costume for Hulk, let me just buy the costume for Hulk. Like, charge me $5 for it, I'll buy it. But putting it in a loot box and saying you might get it, you might not, you might get Loki's costume. Like, well, I don't use Loki's. I don't fucking care about his costume. And then it's kind of so, and then like, I find the stuff that Overwatch does is even grosser, where it's like, well, it's until the end of October. If you don't get the Halloween stuff, they're gone. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but that forces people to buy it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, they're like,
oh,
I need to get that Chinese May thing for Chinese New Year, and
yeah,
I never got it, so I'm buying it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just, I don't know. I hate it. I thought in Overwatch you couldn't buy specific costumes. I thought you had to get it through the loot boxes. Can you buy them?
I'm pretty sure you can buy them.
I
want to say that I've heard
you can buy them with in-game currency. Oh, that's even better then. You can buy the loot boxes or the costumes.
Costume. Because yeah, okay.
Huh? Well, then that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm an Overwatch professional. I play all the time.
Professional.
You buy the costumes.
You sounded so professional. You sounded so professional.
Professional. I think so.
Get currency from boxes. Okay.
Now you can buy currency,
and you get boxes every time you level up, so it's not like it's few and far between the boxes.
But why do I feel like you can buy currency? Yeah. You can buy the Overwatch currency as well, because I feel like I've heard the conversation before where someone said you can't.
You can't.
Okay.
But if anybody knows, Buttercup knows. Only boxes. You want to buy boxes?
You want to buy boxes? I'll buy you boxes.
You boxes? Who wants boxes?
So you can buy boxes.
Everybody gets boxes.
Black cats matter. Great.
God damn it.
Okay.
We said we wouldn't get political.
This is, yeah. Loot boxes is a political conversation, and let's step away from the political conversation and go back to what we were talking about.
I do think loot boxes are getting crazy, but companies are making money with them, so of course every game is going to have a loot box in it. Like, it's one of those things, right?
Right. Buy those lightsabers. Get those dongles for your dashboards.
Why does it always come back to that? I made one mistake, one minor mistake. It looked cool.
See, and what happened? That microtransaction led to loot boxes, which led to this whole disaster. You started this. If you had not paid $5 for a lightsaber,
if they had given me the option of just buying that item directly, I wouldn't have to.
And then you buy the dashboard dongles for for your other game, Space Trucker.
I love those. You know what? I can't even talk shit about Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous wasn't a full price game, and they keep supporting the game.
Only half a game, and then you have to buy all the other stuff.
Hey, now. It was a full game at launch. There's no Star Citizen. Come on, son. And they keep supporting the game, so I feel like, so what? I give them $5 for like different colored lasers and a little tchotchke for my dashboard in my spaceship. Like,
so what?
Come on. It's like, yeah, it's just an RGB setting in some, in some file somewhere, but whatever. Still really enjoy that game. And the new update that they're making called Encounters, I think it's called, is free for everybody that bought Horizon, which is awesome. Like, if they keep doing stuff like that, like giving us more content for nothing, then yeah, I'll buy your stupid spaceship skin. I'm okay with that. I have a gold anaconda.
I can't I can't argue that. I think
see, Lotus is already pissed at us.
Oh, Buttercup, you're such a sweetheart. What I was gonna say Elite Dangerous. I saw someone else playing Elite Dangerous. Varix on the Shed
Yeah,
team. He was playing it, and he had some dongles on his dashboards, and I was like, I think I
did you
went
give me
into
shit for it?
Yeah, right away. I just like I went,
Damn
you
it.
and these motherfucking dingle dongles. Because I love my Christmas tree. I think he hit the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I was really bitter about that. I'm not gonna miss it this year. If they bring it back, I'm buying it.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
I have the limited edition Braben bobblehead on there too. So I mean, it was only up for a limited time. I had to make that purchase.
See,
They
you
got
know,
me. The hook, line, and singer. They got me, man.
this
That's a digital commodity was in limited supply. I mean, you know what? I take it all back. I am the problem.
you see what you started? This is what happened. I told you it was all downhill after that lightsaber.
Oh man!
But it was only 360 Xbox points.
I had to get rid of those points, man. They were dead to me.
You were the problem.
Comics agrees as well. Damn it.
See? All right. We were talking about Forza 7?
Yes, Forza 7. Now, I do have some, now that I've played it a lot more, I do have some issues with Forza 7, especially when it comes to the multiplayer stuff. They seem to have stripped out some of the features that were in 6. One of them being adding drivatars to private matches. So, we would drive around with, like, say, Lotus and Sneak and the gang, and to kind of fill out the track, we would put in drivatars.
Right.
That is not an option anymore. You cannot fill them in. If you play free play in single player, you can totally fill them in with drivatars, but apparently online, not the case. Also, it has a terrible setting in it that switches your voice chat to game chat,
yeah.
even if you're in party chat. And there's no prompt, and there's no rhyme or reason why it's doing it, but it is doing it. And it's terrible. It's just the fucking worst. And if you go back to party chat and leave the lobby you're in and go into another lobby, it again dumps you back into it's.
I feel like
really
I watched
bad.
that on your stream.
Yeah,
you were
it's
playing.
super bad. So yeah, they're gonna. I'm sure they'll fix that. I don't know. What if there were Chivos only obtainable with loot boxes? I'm not gonna answer that.
He's opening up like a black hole.
I'm not gonna answer that.
And what if they were 3-point achievements?
If there were 3, I wouldn't get any of them. Any of them. So yeah, that's kind of. I mean, Forza is what it is. It's a great racer. I'm having a lot of fun going through it. But I'm slowing down on it. I'm doing less races, and I'm working on a car design, like a livery.
Yeah.
I'm doing a Steel Battalion theme, and I've mocked up like all the mech manufacturers in the game. I've done their logos up in Forza, and now I'm drawing the mechs. So like there'll be like a Vitz, mech car for Lycom Industries or whatever it's called. So I'm gonna be doing a bunch of those to slow down, because I feel like at the pace I'm going, I will have finished everything in single player before the Xbox One X comes out. And then I'm like, well, what am I playing this for? So, because when you finish the career mode, it opens up more races in the 6 categories. So I'm already going through those extra races now.
Jesus.
So I'm just like, okay, I've got to slow down. So that's by slowing down, I'm doing the design stuff, which is fun.
Murphams.
Thanks for the host, Murph. So moving off Forza 7, I picked up Lego Worlds. Play with my kids.
Okay. When
Uh,
I saw this on the list, I was just like, okay, I've
so,
been contemplating getting this.
it was like $12 last week, or
Was
was
it?
it this week? I think it was $12 last week, and uh, it's pretty much like Minecraft, but Legos. And you go around and um, you scan items in the world. So like there'll be like a car or a wheelbarrow or a tree, and you can select those things and scan them, and then you can unlock those items, and then you can place those as many times as you want anywhere you want. So you can kind of like rebuild things that have already been made, and then also there's like a free build mode where you unlock pieces by like chasing down these like Lego guys with like a piece stuck to their head, and then you kill those guys, and then you unlock that piece, um, and then you can just kind of you can place bricks brick by brick if you want and build anything you want. So it's really fun, and like I've been playing with Mimi, who's 5, and I'm just having a blast playing with her. It's like, oh, Dad, let's go see this. Oh, there's dogs over here. Let's go see the dogs. Okay, then we unlock the dogs, and now she's just shooting dogs out of her copy gun and just kind of filling the world with dogs, like pew 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 pew. It's like, Dad, check this out. We can. Oh, we got ducks now. Shoot the ducks out, Dad. I'm
Oh
like,
god.
okay, sure. So it's pretty. So in order to build, you have to kill people and loot their bodies. When you say it like that, they're not really people. They're kind of just like you got to kill people. You got to kill people. But they're Lego people. They're not the same. uh, but it's really fun. And then they have like it's kind of like Astroneer, where there's like you have a device that can modify the ground, so you can like add to it, subtract from it. You can do all that stuff, different shapes that you can subtract from. Like there's like the cube, there's a sphere. So it's pretty robust what you can build in it. Um, and so yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Mind you, we played for about 40 minutes, and I always find that every time we play it, it's always the same. We'll play it a bunch. Oh, God damn it! We said it wasn't political. um, we play it for a bunch, and then like they'll instantly say, "It's like, can we just play Minecraft, Dad?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." Well, you don't want to
It's the
play
gateway
Legos,
drug. It's the gateway drug to
It,
Minecraft.
it totally is. So yeah, they just keep kind of going back. I was thinking about typing it. Great.
Guys,
uh,
same mentality in chat tonight.
yes.
Same group. Same
Same
group
group.
of bozos.
Same, yeah. And I've been playing more Watch Dogs on my stream. I'm haven't really played much of it off stream. I kind of just want to go through it by streaming it, and I really dig that game. That game is it's a lot of fun. Just causing crazy shit to happen is really fun and easy. Um, and I like all the characters so far.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really met anybody that was like, "Oh, this fucking douchebag." Like so much better than the first game. So much better. And I'm so glad I got it and started playing it. It's great. It's really a lot of fun to play. Um, and I like how they've got these like skill points essentially scattered about the city, and some of them are fairly easy to get. But I was finding a few that you kind of have to like, how do I get up there? There's, my little jumper robot and my copter thing. I can't get to that spot. I need to find something else that can, lift me up, and so it's kind of like little puzzles to get these skill things, which is so far they
Platforming.
haven't been
Platforming.
infuriating, but maybe they will later on. I don't know, but some fun stuff there. And yeah, I've been having a blast with it. So More of that on Wednesdays.
That's awesome. Yeah, I thought I really liked the characters like right away, right from the beginning. I was just like, oh god, it was so refreshing. I was like, these guys are so much better. I really like these characters right from the start. I'm like these, like I could I was not irritated or what's the word I was thinking of? Like I think the whole time with what's his face, Adrian or fucking
Aiden Pierce.
Aiden Pierce. I was just like, who the fuck
Pierce.
is this guy? Like, I don't. You know what I mean? Like he's got a family, but he doesn't
He
have a
was
family.
kind of a dirtbag too, really.
It's just like, I don't like this. And this is just like, yeah, man, we're hackers. Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like it really felt like a, it's fucking outrageous. This is retarded. Like you're playing a video game. Like this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think it needed to take itself so seriously. Like. And obviously Ubisoft, being the master artists they are, and a fantastic company that makes fantastic games. There's some Ubisoft haters in the crowd today.
Oh yeah,
they make such fantastic games, and they learn from their mistakes and pump out fantastic. What about that Assassin's Creed Origin, which is going to be a complete shit show?
This week's podcast is brought to you by
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Let's get that poop logo.
Origin. Get your gold copy today, and make sure you get your your bonus cape.
and buy the season's pass for the South Park fractured asshole game that's coming out next week.
I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
You didn't even play the first one. You didn't even play the first one.
The first one. Not gonna buy the second one.
What's going on, Adam?
What's up, Adam?
Yeah. So, you said that was Watch Dogs. Did you play any of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta at all?
I did. I did play that. Yes.
And I wanted to talk about it because
yes, I you know what? I enjoyed it. I just played the one mode, the assault mode.
Okay.
I played around with that. I unlocked some loot boxes. It's those loot boxes. That was one of those games where, the first game I played, I was dying a lot, and I was like, how come my droid, which is the same droid that killed me, can't do what that droid did? And we're absolutely talking about PUBG. Absolutely.
All the droids in PUBG.
The PUBG droids, they're fucking aimbots. And then I noticed, I opened up a couple loot boxes, and it was like, your hero class is a class 3 now, and you can, your cooldowns are half as long and such. I thought, ooh, I'm not sure I dig on this stuff. I don't know. I mean, I guess if everybody has the same stuff, it's all a wash. But I don't know, that part seemed a bit off, I think. But the game looks great.
Well, and that
I didn't cancel my
ultimately.
Should I? Talk to me.
There was one of those things that I played it, and I actually I liked it, but it really made me question wanting to buy it because maybe it's because I enjoyed the first one so much, and they're making the second one more complicated.
But I feel like that was a fan response of.
Right. I'm totally in the minor.
The first game was way too simple. Even for a Battlefield game, it was just way too simple. And they seem to they cranked the complexity a bit too much, I think. Because I was at that point where I was like, I don't know what any of this stuff does, and why do I need a card for this and a card for that? And I have a level 3 sergeant, but it's like, what is happening here? I don't even know.
Well, see, that's where it goes. That's where it feels like it's pay to win for me. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the things I used to hate about hockey, and there was this couple of generations that made me quit playing hockey, was the fact that if you played a lot, you had better skills. and then me, I can't play 40 hours a week of hockey. So when I jump in a game and I'm playing against guys who do have or unemployed and make a living from playing this game, or take their, you know what I mean? Like I can't play against them. And
Right.
you get grouped with them. So
Yeah, and it's totally ruining.
it spoils the game for me. So when I saw that stuff in Star Wars Battlefront, I was just like, okay, man, this I'm not gonna play the game. Like, even
Fuck, let me make a note to fucking cancel that pre-order. Hopefully Amazon is like, yeah, dude, don't worry, because you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and I'm glad we're talking about it because, like, playing it, I thought, well, this is. I'm trying to be like, well, maybe this will be okay.
unemployed guys. Well, I didn't
about?
say unemployed guys. I was hinting at it, but I was just saying.
He didn't say.
I said they
unemployed guys'
make
names,
them living.
He just said.
But it's a great looking game.
Yes.
Sure, you put way more content in it. You put even the flying, like, I thought flying was perfect in the first one. The second one is fucking ridiculous.
Oh,
like, I was trying to fly the TIE fighter and just like, it was like, I was just like, okay, but I couldn't fucking target anything. I was just like flying around.
Is it too twitchy? Is that what it was?
Way too twitchy.
Ugh.
But the whole time you're like, wow, this really looks good. I like it because it'll have space battles. Perfect. Enjoy it.
Man, this makes me kind of want to do what I did with the first Star Wars, which is just wait until it gets into the EA access and just be happy with the 10 hours I get with it when it first launches with EA access as well.
Can you cancel your order by the time? How long?
Oh yeah, I mean, because it's not out till October 27th, right?
I thought it was November sometime. I don't think it was out this
What?
month.
Oh,
November.
I thought everything is out on the 27th, isn't it? Like Super Mario's out.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. Wolfenstein is out.
Oh, that's right.
Man, there's
in Star Wars Battlefront 2, obviously.
Maybe Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'll do my own fact checking here. Let me see.
Do the Googles.
But that is a. Nope, you're right. So, November 17th. November 17th.
So yeah, when we'll all be I don't even think I'm gonna watch the second season. I went through the first one and I'm like, why is everyone so fucking hyped about this show?
Wait, what second season?
Stranger Things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was okay. I didn't.
You don't care about the second season of
I could care if there was a second season or not.
You know what I want to watch on Netflix? I know this is going way off topic, but Punisher.
Yeah, boy.
That looks fucking hot. I want all of that. So good.
I don't like that actor. I didn't like him in Walking Dead. I don't know.
Oh shit. He's so good as Punisher though, man. He's so good.
Yes. And I can't argue that. So when he was in Daredevil, and I was just like, when I saw the trailer for Daredevil, and I said, this fucking guy is gonna be this fucking guy is gonna be the Punisher. I mean, I was like, what's his face? Thomas fucking Hayden, Thomas Jane. Yeah, Thomas Jane was so fucking good. I was like, but then I watched the Netflix series and I was like, man, he's kind of good. I kind of like him. He's all right.
Good. He's real good, man.
He's an okay Punisher. I can dig this.
And that trailer for the season looks fucking good, man.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. I know.
But Punisher of all those kind of Netflix shows seems like the best one because I'm hoping at least there's going to be fewer episodes of hemming and hawing and not doing anything.
So you want it to be action all the time, all the fucking.
It fucking better be because he's the Punisher. It's not like he's gonna I've got to consider this fucking my next move, and no, I'm gonna fucking go and do it. Like I'm gonna fucking wreck some people.
Well,
It's in my name.
So I don't know a lot about like so these Marvel series like other than
Yes.
Daredevil. I have knowledge about Daredevil. Like I've read the Daredevil comics. So um but my two favorite comics growing up were Wolverine and Punisher.
Right.
And so this series coming out is probably going to have the most expansive knowledge. You know, I'm going to have the most expansive knowledge of this series. And in the trailer, it actually looks like they take that info and they stick with it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Wolverine movies are just fucking garbage. Like the Old Man Wolverine video. Like
It hurts that you say that because I really wanted to see that, and you're like, it's trash.
It,
It's trash.
well,
I'm
so
like, all right,
you know
maybe I
what?
won't watch that.
The Old Man Wolverine comics are so good. Like if I were to give someone just a couple of comics that they need to introduce them, like just for fucking, the Old Man Wolverine is so good.
Yeah.
That fucking movie was garbage. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh man, Old Man Wolverine, this is great, this is blah blah, and it was just fucking ridiculous. It was just a Wolverine movie that was just like, and
But
everyone was
Professor
like, I love
X
it.
is really old too, man.
Professor X is dead in the comic books, and then he's like, he's
Goddamn.
fucking, and in the movie, he's just like, oh man, I don't even want, I can't. You have to
Let's not
watch it.
talk.
You have to watch
I
it.
will watch it. I will watch it when it's on Netflix. I'll watch it.
But yeah, so I like the other ones. I liked Luke Cage. It was good.
Luke Cage was all
I liked
right.
Iron Fist. I don't know why people shit. I think
Also,
that actor.
also all right.
Yeah,
He is a goofy guy though. Like
right. He
he's
irritated
just-
me.
Yes.
But his side, like that, the girl that runs the dojo there that he falls in love with, and
Yes.
and that kind of stuff. Like he actually is like very athletic, so his action scenes looked really well. Like Luke Cage was just like any kind of action that happened in that series was just like cut together like fucking Jason Bourne style. It was just like
Yes.
flick 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 flick, and it would
Yeah,
just look like garbage. So
Yeah. Let me pick up this styrofoam car and stuff like that.
right, but Defenders is pretty good.
I like Defenders. I saw the whole thing. I thought that was okay.
Yeah.
It takes a while to kind of really ramp up, but you know, it's
Right.
okay.
So but like Jessica Jones, like I
I wanted to fucking tear my eyes out, Jessica Jones. I've gone so hot on a thing and then so cold by the middle of it.
Mhm.
Like it was such a cool. I know nothing about Jessica Jones. I will admit, I don't. I'm like, whatever. She's like a detective. She's super strong. Yep, I'm in. Let's watch this. This is gonna be badass. And it was badass. And then it was just this fucking like hemming and hawing and maybe I shouldn't kill him and maybe I should and maybe I should do. And I was like, fucking just come on, man.
yeah.
This is another episode of nothing happening. Like, thank God it wasn't. We'll come back next week, because I would have just been like, fuck this. It was just so boring, so boring. And I thought the villain in that was just so good
yeah.
that you're like, what do you do after that?
Right. I might have watched Daredevil season 2. Foggy got rated.
Whoa,
by it.
oh my Jesus.
Well, it's funny. It was the actor that played Kingpin.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
DeFlawful.
Vincent
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. Yes.
Fucking again, the bad guys, like
The bad guys are awesome. He's great. Yeah.
and then you get Luke Cage, where you like these bad guys are just retarded, like you know.
They were like the nicest gangsters ever.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Yep.
And,
Hell of a
and he
career.
was
Hell of a
he
career.
was also the roommate in Butterfly Effect.
Oh wow. There's a pull.
All right, let's get back to video games. This is all Lotus's fault.
That was our Marvel minute.
Marvel Minute. Dude, we were talking about Marvel Ultimate
Minute was
Heroes.
brought to you by Netflix.
Sponsored by
We're raising the price and not adding more.
So yeah, back to Battlefront 2. I think I'm in the same boat as you. I might play a bit more of it, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it because I don't think it's worth full price. I don't
Even with the single player campaign, you don't think it's worth full price?
no. I don't buy things for single player campaigns really. I play most of that stuff for multiplayer, and it's what really sells me on it. So like even things like PUBG, like it's the multiplayer that actually sells me on it. Like single player, I haven't even finished the single player for Battlefield 1. Like I like I like single player, but and it's not even like great. It's a more story to the Star Wars universe, but
it seems like a cool kind of story, cool, I guess, angle on everything. You know,
right. Maybe, yeah. On Alpha Flights, you know what? That Alpha Flight is the only reason why people bought it is because they're Canadian. They're the stupidest superheroes ever. They're like, oh, we got Canadian superheroes. This is great.
Ice cold. That fucking truth is lit tonight.
Oh, speaking of Marvel, I watched that Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
Okay. Yes.
That movie was fucking good.
I gotta see that.
Probably
too.
the best. Probably the best Spider-Man movie I think I've ever seen.
Now that is the
Marvel
third?
produced one.
Is that the third
Spider-Man, yeah.
reboot
Yes.
of Spider-Man? Is that what that is? The
Right.
third reboot? Okay.
But it's like, so Sony had the rights to the first two.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they gave Marvel, I won't say Fox. I might be wrong on that one.
I don't know.
Anyways, they had the right the Spider-Man making in conjunction with Sony, whatever.
Right.
And it's good.
All right. I gotta check that out.
I really hated how the previous Spider-Mans were like, this is Peter Parker, he's a fucking smart guy, he's blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, I always found, this maybe is just my personal experience, but people that were really smart in like, I had people that I grew up with that were really really smart, but for some reason had like a disconnect to real life experience or social, you know what I mean? So they would be really awkward around people, or they would be really book smart but could never apply it to anything, you know what I mean? And they they sort of do that with Peter Parker in this one. So he's just kind of like, he's socially awkward, but at the same time
he shouldn't be too suave, right?
Right. He's a great scientist, he can put stuff together, but as soon as he starts to try to swing from the trees, he's fucking awkward as fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
which makes sense. You should be awkward as fuck.
Right. And that's
not a normal thing to do.
Yeah, you just don't fucking put that together and all of a sudden you're like the best Spider-Man known to man. Like, holy fuck, I'm a scientist. I can figure out how to swing. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they sort of touch on that, and it's just like, oh fuck, this is great. This is, you know what I mean? This is the Spider-Man. Like, this is way more believable. Like, I mean, they're not supposed to be believable because it's fucking made up, but it's kind of got to be believable. You got to relate to it.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I do want to play that new Spider-Man game that's coming out. That looked amazing at E3. That looked really good. So
that would be really. I'm interested to see that too. Yeah.
All right. So
I played. Sorry.
What else did you get to? What else did you get up to?
Well, I streamed Mario and Rabbids.
Yes. Was that a purchase, or did you get that from the library?
I borrowed that from the library.
Nice.
I didn't want to pay full. Like, I'm really iffy about buying games, and I'm glad I didn't buy it because I feel like I got my experience from it playing through the first world of it. Like, I know it gets more harder because I've watched, I've watched Buttercup and I've watched Murph Guy play through the end of it, and I see how it gets more complicated. You got to be more strategic and blah blah blah, but I feel like I got the experience from it just playing through the first world. And
it's not to say it's a bad game. It's just
no.
Like, I got what I wanted out of it, and
I feel like it's a good introduction to people who want to learn how to play those kind of games. Do you know what I mean? Like, if XCOM just always seemed really complicated to me, and I don't have the patience for it. So Mario and Rabbids just seemed like Rabbids has always been fucking super stupid fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just watch them do stupid things. Like you kill this one boss and Rabbid Peach starts taking selfies with it, and I was just fucking like, I was dying. You know what I mean? Like that shit is, you know, I love how they can do that shit with Rabbids, and it's super enjoyable, and I think it deserves a place in someone's library, just not mine.
I really liked how they still kind of made it a Mario game. Like there are still coins to collect. There's still like hidden things here and there. Like that stuff. Like, they did a really good job.
What's up, K Marsh?
What's up, K Marsh? Cheese fries. Oh man, cheese fries are good. Fucking put all the cheese all over the fries, and I will eat that shit up. So good.
With chili or with gravy, cheesy.
Hey, I'm not picky. If you don't have any of that stuff lying around, I'll eat. I'll still eat it. I'm not, I'm not gonna keep my nose up in the air about it. Like, no, bring that over here. We almost had poutine for lunch today.
Oh, son of a bitch.
It was Joe and I, and I'm like, we should get poutine for lunch. Decided against it though. That was a bad move. I shouldn't have decided against it.
Damn it. Yeah. You were saying something about more about Rabbids.
Yeah, just that it was that they added a bunch of like Super Mario stuff in it that it still kind of still felt like a proper game, like a proper Mario game rather.
Right. I think the Mario New Donk City might be the one that we actually buy.
Yeah.
It seems there's more to that platforming than what there's more to that experience. Like I also feel like having watched Murph and Buttercup kind of go through Mario and Rabbids, and I kind of experienced the game. Do you know what I mean? Like I had to play it to kind of get my hands on it and play it, but I saw them go through it, and I know it's kind of short, so it's like there's no sustenance to that game. It's not a $79.99 game.
Right.
So I don't understand. I don't see like.
You know what it is too is games up here in the frozen north are fucking expensive, so it's like it better be real good for me to want to keep it or want to.
Hey man, you still
make the purchase. Which is why I want to hang on to that Star Wars pre-order because I got it for $50. Fuck.
See, that might be worth it then. Do you know what I
mean? Right? I'll have to check my Amazon order, make sure it is $50. Because if it's not, I'm out.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's really making me second guess games. Like we keep saying is that game needs to be $30. I'm okay with $50 games. I'm okay with games that are $59.99, but $90 after tax is too much.
Yeah. Well, I feel like $90 is not too much, but when you start nickel and diming me with other shit on top of that, that's when I'm like, you've lost me. When it's like, well, we've got loot boxes and we've got a season pass and we've got an extra season pass, and it's like, guys, like I fucking already gave you my money. Like you're still trying to rip money out of my hands now. Like what's going on? I mean, one of my favorite games from last year, Forza Horizon 3, great game, but it's like the Ultimate Edition came with a car pass and a VIP thing, and then they had an expansion pass, which was an extra cost on top of the Ultimate Edition. And now, mind you, I enjoyed all that content, but it's like at the end of, I think, it's closing in on $200 that you spend on that one game. Like
right.
That's way too much money. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I mean, it brings up another point with that that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is supposed to have free content. Like everything from release is supposed to be free, but I'm already burnt.
They have loot boxes, but it's like
right. But that's what I'm saying. How are they going to financially support that content? Speaking of poutine, NK, what's up, buddy?
Did NK ever buy poutine?
No,
Did he ever?
no, he did
Did
not.
we ever find out if he had
I was
poutine?
in his stream just the other day, and he was like, "You know
You
what,
asked
guys?
him?
It's still
It's
happening.
still happening.
Yeah.
It's better.
Fucking,
Yeah,
that was
all
6
right,
months ago, NK. You're letting us down."
okay.
Fucking guy.
I had no gray hairs when we told you about that.
You know, speaking of NK and poutine and fucking, I loaded up NHL 18 and was comparing achievements, and NK has more fucking achievements in hockey than I do. And I was just like, what
believe
the
it or
fuck?
not, he is a quiet achievement whore. He doesn't like come in and be like, I got all these points. Like, look at me. Like, but he quietly gets them all. He's sneaky that way. Because at the end of the day, leaderboard, he's above me in the leaderboard. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
This fucking guy he's like completed a season on Be a Pro and all this. I'm like, I've played so much fucking
How long
NHL.
does it take to simulate those games? I wonder.
Yeah, how did you get to the end so fast? It's like time played. I think we both had like 20 hours of game time played or something like that. And
suspect.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Efficiency.
There it is. He only plays with minute periods. He knocks it down right to the bare minimum.
Which is ironic because I was playing through threes today. I was playing some more threes.
Yeah.
And
Great mode.
I would usually play the money puck and whoever scores 7 goals first, right? And today I was just like, man, this is taking too long. Today I dropped it down to like 4 points. I was just like, games are ending like really quickly.
Done.
2 goals.
I need to get going here.
Yeah. And I was looking at some of the stars. Actually, it was just kind of funny because I just noticed this tonight was that some of the heroes or like star players you can only unlock from playing online co-op threes.
Oh, wow.
So like it's like, okay, Carey Price, and I'm like, I beat the game, I got 3 stars. I'm like, I didn't get the fucking Carey Price on my team. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I look over and it's like, you need to play it on
All-Star,
semi-pro and online co-op. Like it was just like you needed to do that in order and you got to get 3 stars just to get Carey Price.
Damn.
I was like, you sons of bitches.
So totally worth it.
Yeah.
$47.99. $47 at Costco.
You have to go to Costco, or can you order online?
I think it's to Costco.
Okay.
I'll double check. That's a sweet deal, though.
I'll pick it up for you if you really you think you want to get it.
Well, I might have to cancel. I'll cancel Star Wars to get hockey. Is that?
What
that
do you
might
think,
be crazy,
NK?
Might be worth it.
Cancel Star Wars, Battlefront 2, and get NHL 18. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta break the deadlock on this one, NK. Oh, a tough one. Is a tough one. It wasn't an instant like do it.
There we go.
Pre-order canceled.
I watched Kirsch play. Yes,
There's
okay,
also
but
that.
here's the
There's
thing,
also
NK.
that.
He pre-ordered it, and it is already. He's supposed to be $50.
I pre-ordered it during E3, and Amazon had like a 20% off at E3 when you pre-ordered, or during E3. So it's got a good discount on it, but I don't know.
So
I don't know how I feel about the game after that beta.
Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of thinking too. Like, yeah. I think I do want to play it eventually.
It's telling that I only played one mode, and I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I didn't even really want to check out anything. I was like, all right.
We'll get whatever you're hyped to play. Only so much time to go around. Play what you really. Yeah. That's true too, right?
Yeah.
But I think, I mean,
I'll still get some Battlefront when it comes out through EA Access. So it's not like I won't be playing that at all.
Well, and this is the other thing. Being an EA Access member, I feel like I've been burnt now that, Battlefield 1 is in the. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Who was I talking to? It might have been NK, but it was just saying like, I'm never buying another sports game because all the sports games end up going into the vault. Like, yes, it's at the end of the season, but they're all there. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Is it worth keeping it? Like I mean, I'll get hockey, and then in 3 months, I'm gonna sell it because I'll know in another month or two it'll be in the vault.
Right.
So, just kind of keep it as a rental and get whatever I get for it, and just say, well, I rented it for 3 months.
Isn't that not a bad good idea?
That's not a bad idea. You know what? That's a top tip. That's a
Tip
that's a
from
Ben
the
and Harry
chipper.
top tip right there.
Uh, let's. I was gonna say I'm gonna move on to Dirt 4. It's just Valley than Xbox Game Pass.
Well, yeah. I wish the Game Pass had more current gen games. They seem to have padded out the 100 with a bunch of backwards compatibility games, which aren't bad games by any stretch, but it's just kind of like I have moved on, and I had a fairly significant collection of 360 games. So for me, it's like a lot of those 360 games I already own, or I've already played. So it's not really, they kind of lose me there. But every month they keep adding more games I haven't played in the past, so it's becoming more and more useful. But I really like EA Access. I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, EA Access
I
is.
think you get a year for $30, and it's nice getting the games early. Like you can download the games early and play them for 5 to 10 hours each before the release date, and then you get discounts on all the DLC or whatever for it. But what's really nice is you don't have to reinstall the game. So I bought Battlefield 1 on disc, and played it through the disc, loved it, and when I found out it was coming to EA Access, I sold my disc, and then when I went to go play it again, and when it was in the vault, it just kind of ran. I didn't have to like re-download the game or anything like that. It just kind of just said, "All right, you own this through EA Access, so keep playing."
Right.
It's really smooth. It's nice because there was that thought, that dread of like, oh shit, I got to download this 60 gigs again or whatever it is now.
Well,
And
that
it was
sort of
totally like, nope, the license just transferred over from owning the disc to owning it through EA Access. You don't need the disc anymore to play it. Then go ahead.
the reverse actually works well too because I obviously downloaded NHL 18 to play the 10 hours free, and I got the disc.
Right.
So I slapped in the disc, and I didn't have to install the game or anything. You just had to put it
Oh,
in to
that's
make
right.
sure that.
That's cool too. Yes,
Yeah.
that's great. I never even thought of that. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I think I've saved every year. I've saved almost half of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I bought Battlefield 1, I saved $15,
Yep.
$20. So, the extra $10 really.
And things like Mirror's Edge was in the vault, like I want to say like 2 or 3 months after it came out. Like it was super quick that it was in the vault. So I was like, okay,
I've still yet to play that.
Yeah.
Still.
So
I've
yeah,
played more Peggle 2 than I have in Mirror's Edge.
Oh, Peggle's so good. I'd say for now EA Access, but the Game Pass is getting better with every month.
Well, what I like about those Game Passes, though, also is the fact that you can play and cancel. So if there's something that you want to play that's in the Game Pass, $10 to rent a game
for the month. Yep, I've been thinking of doing that too, actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad price to essentially, like, you don't have to subscribe to it every month. You just subscribe, play the game that you wanted to play, and then because I mean 4 weeks is enough time to play a game for $10.
Yep.
It's a great price.
I haven't used the 2 week trial thing.
Yeah. No,
I might do that just to go through like Devil May Cry, because that was a game that I wanted to get and never got around to playing. So that and Dirt 4 or no Dirt Rally got
Dirt Rally's in it.
Dirt Rally's in there, yeah.
Yeah. I picked up Dirt.
I definitely want to play that.
Dirt 4 from the library. I've been playing it for the last.
I noticed you popping up those achievements. I was like, oh, when did you get that?
Yeah. So I got it from the library. I was just every once in a while I go to the library and I just look through the games and new stuff pops up. I think as it gets bored, like I can go through. Yeah, the actual library. Yep. My actual library has tons and tons of video games. Like
I'm bitter.
Um, for like this Nintendo Switch games, well, it's more of a Pickering thing than where I live than it is Toronto. Uh, um, like the Nintendo Switch games, I've been borrowing from the library. I haven't been buying them.
That's kind of amazing that they would have Switch games there, to
Yeah,
be
and they
honest
come
with
out just at release. Like
you. Yeah.
Came out at release. It took 2.5 weeks to before it was available for me to pick it up. Because they only have 2 copies and
Yeah, still, you got it for nothing and
right.
played it as much as you wanted to play it.
Exactly. And they have a 3D printer, which I still haven't taken advantage of. But so I got Dirt 4 and I kind of I love
Here's
those
a question, because you played Dirt Rally.
Right.
Now, what are the comparables? What are the differences? Is it an easier driving game than Dirt Rally is? Because
Yes.
from all my understanding is Dirt Rally is very extreme.
I played maybe 2 hours of Dirt Rally and was like, fuck this game, I'm done. Like they try to teach you the the co-pilot system where they tell you this is the 6.5 long 106, and I'm just like, what? I went through that tutorial like twice and I still didn't quite understand the I know that a 6 is a not so much of a turn, and a 1 is a fucking really sharp turn. That's all I know. I don't know, open to bump, 3 down, 102. What?
Don't worry about that.
Fucking
Don't worry about that.
Crest bump, fucking overhill, down,
just hit the
crest.
throttle. Just hit the throttle.
Yeah, fucking cowbell. Oh my god, what? So it was really like Dirt Rally was really, really hard, and but I think I'm getting to a point in Dirt 4 that it's getting Dirt Rally hard.
Oh yeah.
But they started off with some training license stuff, and then the first couple of stages are really simple, and but they added fog, and it just fucking like you're trying to drive and you can't see shit, and it's just like, this is really good. But they added a little bit more realism, like when it counts down 3, 2, 1, go, right? Yep. You can drive when it says 3, 2. You can leave the line and take a penalty.
Oh, no way!
Right. All right, NK. We'll see you later, buddy. So you have to hold down the emergency brake and like rev the gas, and then like fucking go when it says go, right?
Oh, that's so good.
And at the end of the lap, or at the end of the stage, you drive in to meet the guy, and you can fucking hit them and take a penalty. So you have to drive in and then like peter off into the end. And so you take damage. So like in Dirt Rally, you take damage and it affects your vehicle. So they sort of added that to Dirt 4, which you didn't really have in before. You just like roll, hit a car, you maybe had damage. But now it's just like if I clip a cliff or whatever with my right, it's possible for my tire to puncture, and you can stop and repair your car or put a tire on and stuff like that. And then you can hire engineers and stuff like that to fix your car in between stages and stuff like that. So they've added more of that realism sort of rally racing stuff, but it's still the classic Dirt Rally where it's kind of like you got rally, you have land rush, you have you know what I mean, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And it has different vehicle types in there as well.
Right.
Okay.
And then they put them as classes, so you have an R2 class is the Fiesta, and
yes, I am Brooklyn.
Yeah, totally pre-ordered Scorpio edition. Scorpio
edition is going to be here in the house. I can't wait.
I'm gonna try to get that 4K TV. No, I don't know.
My wife's not going to let me get the 4K TV. She gave me the fucking stink eye when I was telling her how much the Xbox X was costing. But
well, Migos Moo pre-ordered the Xbox One X, and he's like, now I need to buy that $40 adapter because he plays a lot of Just Dance. So he needs to move his Kinect over to
the Kinect thing, yeah.
So he's like, what the fuck? And I was just like, oh man, that sucks. And then I was thinking, well, I have.
You have one. Just send it
to adapter. Yeah, I know. but
I
I'm gonna use it with my Xbox One X, so I can say, hey, Xbox, take a screenshot in 4K, bitches.
I wanted to ask about Dirt 4. Now, the previous Dirt games used to have like based off of difficulty, they would give you like say, three rewinds or no rewinds or depending on how hard you were playing it. Does it keep the rewind stuff in there? Because
So
I know Rally didn't have it, right?
right,
Okay.
and 4 doesn't have a rewind; it has a restart,
Oh,
and it gives
okay.
you it gives you restarts based on
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 difficulty, so you could
difficulty.
restart the whole race.
Just
It,
the stage.
oh,
all right. Hey man, you still
oh,
So if
like
I
the
go through stage 1 and then I get my time and then I do stage 2 and I fucking wipe out and I crash and I click restart, it'll take me back to the beginning of stage 2.
which is in the middle of the race.
Right. Well,
Okay.
you remember how there's stages and you get
Yes,
you get
yes, yes.
performance points based off of how you finish in that stage, and then you finish stage 2 and it takes your cumulative time from stage 1 to stage 2, and then you do.
Oh. Okay, so it is like a whole race essentially.
It's like
then.
a whole race. Well,
Okay.
and I mean, depending on what class, some of the races had 2 stages, some of the races had 4 stages. Some,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, you could restart a stage, and you only had, I think I'm on. It told me to, based on my performance time, it told me to play championship, which is like,
Fucking high roller. They're like, look at this guy.
it was in the middle.
Yeah,
It was like
fucking
there was like 5 levels of difficulty. And
Okay.
I was
Okay.
like smack dab in the middle. So, but like the fog stages are, there's some really neat
That sounds pretty awesome.
neat interesting things that really well, they mess with me because I see them and it makes me charge turns harder. But there's a meter on the side that shows you the leader and where you are in conjunction to that leader's time. So you see like a little red arrow and the white arrow, which, so if the leader gets ahead of me, I'm start fucking dive bombing turns way too. You know what I mean?
I could do this.
Man, I gotta make up 3 seconds. I gotta make. You know what I mean? It wasn't just going through the checkpoint where it's like, oh, you're back 3 seconds. Now you see the actual
Right.
on the performance meter. I'm like, oh shit! It messed me up totally. But yeah, I love that. I'm really digging it. I think I can. So I have a game for 7 days, and then you have to at the library you have to renew it.
Right.
Unless it's like if it's reserved by someone else, you'll have to bring it back, right?
Right.
But I can the app lets me to the actual library app lets me renew it right from within the app. But yeah,
Is it keeper?
I mean, yeah, I renewed it, and I think I'm gonna renew it again next week.
Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Give somebody else a chance.
Hey man, there's no reservations
You're a
on
real
it.
dirtbag with this thing, man.
If there's no you can go in and reserve it for all you want. But yeah, I think I'm gonna reserve it again and play more of it this week because I really dig it. I like that. I just love that shit. Like I love that rally stuff and just the crackling of the engine and the you know what I mean? Like that experience really just fucking and the weather, like the weather's really good in this, so it just none of the other rally games, well, Dirt Rally had weather, but this is like really fucking, the beginning of the stage and by the end of the stage is just like, you can go draw through some really thick fog, and then by the end of it starts to clear up, and you know what I mean? Like you're driving purely on the fucking basis of what the fucking co-pilot's like a 6 turn, and you're like,
I think I know what this is.
Oh god, yeah. So, yeah, super dig it. So, yeah, fucking legit as fuck.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm really. And there's
All
none
right,
of I haven't done
here's
any
the
of
game
that.
I want to know about.
What's that?
Cryptark. Cryptark.
Cryptark. Yeah, so I bought that on the Humble Bundle.
I fucking missed the Humble Bundle.
Did you? Shit.
I went to go buy it, and I was like, it's not there anymore. Super bitter.
It is total. How do I describe? It's bullet hell. Like it. Well, I shouldn't say it's bullet hell. they take you through a tutorial stage where you know, before you go in, you're basically what's the word I'm thinking of? You're going into a ship to destroy parts of it, but to take the parts back to.
So you're doing some maintenance or something on it.
Not. You're kind of like a recycler, or what's the word I'm trying to think of? You're going into ships to take out.
You're a scavenger.
Scavenger.
Yeah.
You're a scavenger.
Boom.
So you're going in and you're taking these you're a contractor.
You're taking out all the copper out of these things.
Exactly. But what's happening is these ships have defense systems and stuff like that. So you gotta take out these defense systems, and then you get paid by the contracting company for all the stuff you scavenge from it. And you know, you have to go in. You have to equip yourself with different gear every time you go in. And as you go into each ship, there's like tech computers, and these tech computers can give you new weapons so that the next time you go into a ship, you have new weapons and stuff like that. But you're only given so much time before to scavenge a ship, or else you lose the scavenging bonus.
Oh boy.
So you can't, you know what I mean? There's a lot of
can't dilly dally, man.
Yeah, you can't fuck around, and so you really have to. It really. It's. I'm trying to think of. I want to say it's kind of like Through Flames and Flood or whatever, where it's kind of like you have. It tries to rush you to make decisions.
Okay. Yep.
So when you rush through these decisions, you sometimes make really bad ones, and it totally fucks up your. You know what I mean? Totally messes up what you're trying to accomplish. But it's
right.
Like. It's really cool. It's really cool.
How does it control? Is it mouse and keyboard, or is it twin stick, or what? It looks like a twin stick shooter, but is it?
So you can do either or.
Okay.
I first, so when I downloaded, I bought it when I was at work. So it was esports, so I had to test it at work.
So of course you tried it out at work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I used the mouse and keyboard,
Nice.
and it doesn't play well with mouse and keyboard. It's really complicated because you just kind of like the mouse. You just kind of move the pointer from left to right, and sometimes get lost left to right in the depending on where it is. So when I got home, I installed it on my computer at home and played with the joystick, and it was it's meant for joystick. It's fucking super twin stick shooter, and it's so much easier and super enjoyable. But basically, you're given you're like, okay, these are the 4 ships that are broken. Like, which one do you want to salvage? And they each have a difficulty level, and each one has more profit.
Right.
The harder it gets, more profit. The more money you have, the better weapons you can buy. And then you go after you finish.
Is it a roguelike? Like when you die, can you you use that money to buy better weapons so that your next run is easier, or is it just?
So I haven't made it through a run yet. Well, so yeah, I've died, and they're like, okay, we need to buy another suit.
Oh boy.
So you start off with 500,000 credits, and then you lose the suit, and you're like, oh, you lost 300,000 credits.
Holy shit! You have to buy, that is an expensive suit.
Yeah. So then you have to equip yourself from the start, and you're trying to make it to the last ship.
Oh man.
And it's like, so I've
this
died
sounds
enough.
Fucking hard, dude.
It is really hard. It's not. It's like Rogue Legacy. When you first play Rogue Legacy, it's really hard, and then you get more gear, and every time you go through it eventually gets easy. And then I played another game called Sterden or something like that, which was kind of the same idea, and that was just hard. Period. You know what I mean? Like it just never gets easier.
Right.
And then this seems to be not as rewarding as Rogue Legacy, because it never seems to get super easy, but you do get better gear and you feel super kick ass when you do it, right? But then then you still always have that technology, so it's kind of it's kind of forgiving.
Okay, so like in time, it seems like you'll have a better handle on it,
right?
With new stuff, yeah,
right. But not as quick as maybe Rogue Legacy. I don't know,
right?
So, Yeah, I dig it. I feel like I want to play that on Tuesday. Play more of it because it's like it's bullet hell. Like it just, and every time you get a ship, like even though I play the same ship, or even though the design may be the same, where the brain is and where the defense system and where they're always different in the ship. So it's like
it's all kind of random, right? Yeah.
right. And there's a bunch of doors, and you have to go and get keys to unlock these doors, and where those keys are all different, and you know what I mean. So even though some of the ships may be the same, the experience is completely different. So it is pretty cool. It is. I haven't played it enough to maybe make a solid opinion on it, but so far I love what I see, and I just like the characters and stuff like that in it. It's got a neat.
I'll have to buy that.
Yeah.
On Steam. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention I finished Everspace.
You finished it?
I think I finished it. But I've only just finished it on easy.
Okay, that's all right.
But that game is fucking amazing. Like it's totally a game. I'll be like, well, I got an hour to kill. I'll play a couple rounds and see if I get a good batch of runs here. And man, that game is so much fun.
Yeah.
I really dig it. I'll be streaming that again this week. But yeah, like it's because it has different stages of endings. Like the first time I kind of got to the end, it started up again and gave me this other quest I had to do, like to find these random things. And then when I found those, then I had to fight like this boss guy. And then I whittled him down over many different runs, and then finally killed him. And now I think that's the last thing, but I'm not even 100%. So I haven't done a full run after beating him to kind of be like, okay, this is the end. But I've seen the credits a few times now. So I'm gonna try to do it on normal and then try on hard. I think easy is a bit too easy now.
Right.
Just with my pilot is almost fully maxed, and the ship I use is almost fully maxed too. So it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, easy is really a cakewalk. I need to kind of, get better loot and better enemies in the harder difficulties.
Yeah. I've replayed Rogue Legacy from the beginning even though I started a whole new family tree or whatever, and even then when I play it like from the start, I was just like, oh, this is much more easier than I thought.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you learn the mechanics of the game, and you learn, you know what I mean? Like you learn how some units work, you learn how, you know what I mean? And
you put so much time into it too, right? Like you've done that first level bit so many times that it's like, okay, I know this.
Right.
Even with shitty weapons, I know this.
So yeah. It's funny. I picked up a game this week. I haven't really played a lot of it, but I think I might have mentioned it before. It's a game called Foxhole.
Okay.
It's like an what was that game a long time ago?
You said Commandos, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So it's got a persistent world.
So it's an online game.
And you kind of jump in and you try to take over the other part, but you have to build barracks and you have to build. So I've watched people play it. It's on special this week, so it's $16, but it's regularly $20, but it's early access. This is the shitty part of it. And I got in and built a foxhole and took a gun and shot someone dead, and I was just like, this is awesome.
This is the best game.
But it is like I think you have to play it in a group of people. But you should look it up.
It's not a single player. It's like it's not I'm going in on my own. And
yeah, I think I haven't played enough, but I think what happens is because it's a persistent world. Like today, it may take 3 months before someone takes over the map. Right.
Okay.
So and it only resets until the world is conquered. So what some people do is they go in and they just gather resources, and they'll go in and they'll they'll go in and they'll build guns and build ammo, and they'll put those in the like, because you have to basically
stockpiling all this stuff, right?
yeah
For when shit really hits the fan.
right. Right. So when you have war, like actual gun shootouts and stuff like that, you have to have weapons, you have to have ammo, you know what I mean. So people go in and they log in and they go and make, because you have to go to a factory to build the gun, and then you have to take the gun the parts and bring it to a town hall to order the actual guns.
Wow, this is fucking holy nitty gritty, Batman.
Yeah, yeah. And you need gas for the vehicles, and certain vehicles need, certain buildings need to have a fucking tractor, but you have to build the tractor in order to, you know what I mean? Like,
oh wow.
And so as you're building, you know what I mean? Like it's in depth. It's like, it's almost in depth survival, but at the same time, it's you can't just jump in and pew pew, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when people actually do, like, the big servers, I think when people actually plan to take over things, they it's like, okay, I've seen like forum posts. So like, okay, on Tuesday, such and such a day, blah blah blah.
We're making the push.
Yeah, we're making the push for such a. So it's got a really cool premise. So I think
that sounds like a game that I want to hear about but don't want to play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, it's totally an EVE Online kind of like.
Exactly.
The stories coming out of this are amazing. Like, I could totally imagine, people making a big push going through, running out of fuel, or like having some sort of catastrophe happen midway through a big push,
right?
Which would make a great kind of story to hear. But man, I don't know if I want to be part of that. Or
I don't know, man. This is just like it's. I think it's a little less complicated than EVE Online in terms of money. There's like no money is lost, but if you lose a shit ton of resources, it could be. I guess that could be,
100,000 ISK.
Yeah. But yeah, that. Oh man, I haven't played enough of it, but I picked it up this week finally. So, games, just fucking games here, games there.
Yeah.
What's
man?
Next week is what? Fractured Butthole, and then
shit, next week is Fractured Butthole. Oh, okay. Are you picking that up?
Jen's gonna get a copy of it.
Okay,
so
okay.
Her and Hannah are super stoked for it. So
nice.
I don't know if I mean, I'm interested. Like, I played the first one, so
right.
And I'm not a huge South Park fan, but I like the first one. I laughed my ass off. It was a really good story. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. But I feel like there's something else that's coming out next week. Oh, that Gran Turismo for PlayStation 4.
Oh yes. I wanted to play that demo and I never got a chance to. I never got around to it. It looks good.
Yeah.
I don't really have an opinion on like the way it plays because I haven't played it yet. So.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how well it does.
There's so many great car games out. Project Cars 2 is out. Forza 7's out. GT Sport is out. It's like kind of covers everything that you want to play. It's there's a lot of car. That's a lot of car game there in those three titles. Like,
yeah, but it being, let's say the target market in gaming is 30-year-olds or whatever. They'll remember old Forzas, or sorry, the old Gran Turismos.
Yeah.
Would that be enough to make someone be like, fuck, I need to get a Gran Turismo? Even though I feel like the last couple have been so disappointing that
I feel like the last one was bad, but they built on it to make it better over time. Like they supported it. They did it. I still think at launch it was not good. So like, you know what? Gran Turismo is too big to fail. It has an incredibly huge fan base. Like, it's gonna sell like fucking hotcakes. It's gonna do great. And this is like the first real one on the new on the PS4. Because 6 came out just as the PS4 was coming, just as the PS4 released, but it came out on the PS3. So this is kind of like the first Gran Turismo on the PS4. So like, it's gonna sell really well. It'll do really well. And I'm sure it'll be a great game. But it's like one of those, like, I've I've got Forza. I can't put another 100 hours into another car game. That's pretty much the same experience. um, so
Yeah.
maybe in time I'll end up getting it and playing it. And
I'll
when
definitely
I
be keeping my eye open to see how it does or what people say about it.
yeah, I'm
The
interested because it's been so long. So I'm kind of you know Gran Turismo came out before Forza, but they're both on the seventh game. so, so it's like it's kind of crazy at
that's not
that
even
point.
including the Horizon games that are made in
Not
between.
including Horizon, like the motorsport.
Right.
So there's uh and you'll probably have Forza Motorsport 9 uh by the time Gran Turismo 8 comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how well
See how it
well
goes.
it'll do. Yeah.
See how it goes. Did you I guess switching topics, did you hear about this Crazy Justice game? Uh that's supposed to be crossplay between Nintendo Switch, PC, and Xbox.
Yes, I just briefly saw a thing on Twitter about that. But that's really cool. That's super, super cool.
Just the fact we were talking about PlayStation 4, it reminded me I mean, it's a shooter, and uh, there's also a battle royale mode in it, of course.
Of course there is. Like, why wouldn't there be? Yeah.
But does it does it hype you up, disappoint you, or give you a frame of mind of like to think, what the fuck is Sony doing?
Well, for me, I think it's look, they're the leader, and the leader gets to say what they do, and it's like, why would we share our user base with you guys when we have the largest user base? So why would we share that?
Are those
Maybe
numbers fucking
maybe that's
outrageous?
maybe that's the angle that they're saying. Like they're destroying everybody with the amount of PS4s. The install base of the PS4s is massive, right? So for them, maybe they're thinking, well, we don't need you guys. It's okay. Meanwhile, I still think, like, at the end of the day, if you can crossplay with the PC and crossplay with the Switch, which is selling like hotcakes, and then also the Xbox One, like those three communities combined are going to be way bigger than what the PS4 is.
Right.
I mean, just with the PC alone, it's going to be way bigger. But so hey, I don't know. It seems like a weird thing. I mean, it started with the Minecraft stuff. It moved over to the Fortnite,
Right.
where they accidentally had it on and people were actually playing with PS4 players, and then they fixed that problem. It seems there's a trend developing, and I'm wondering at what point the players are going to be like, okay, dudes, like, what do you like? What the hell? Because their PR messaging for it is terrible. Because it's just like, well, we're just trying to protect our players from this other thing, and blah, blah. And it's just like, it just sounds like fucking horse shit. And you're like,
Yeah.
guys, just just say it. uh, any other reason they could have come up with anything. They could have just said, oh, you know what, the servers that are running the PS4s are of a quality that can't be matched on these other platforms, or say something. But what they were saying just seemed like bullshit, and it's just it just seemed pure bullshit. And yeah, like the more games that are starting to do this, it's just gonna snowball, right? Like, the next game that comes out after this one that will have crossplay between the other platforms, it's just it's just going to become more and more evident. Like, okay, there's something wrong here, because especially if it's an online game and the community dries up on one platform, and you're playing with other people, and like on one side it's just the PS4 thing, and it dries up, then it's all dried up, and that's the only platform you have.
Right.
On the other side, if say the Xbox platform starts to dry up, but the Switch and PC guys are still playing it like crazy, then there's still tons of people playing it. So even if you're like one of the few guys on Xbox that's playing the game, the actual community you're playing with can be way bigger, and you'll still find games. It's just like, I mean, Battlefield is the same thing. Like, it's been out for a year. It's starting to slow down. It's harder to find games. Like, if all those communities were in one, then it would be super easy to find games. You'd always find games. There's always people playing on PC or PS4 or Xbox. Like, but when it's just like when they're in a silo, it's like, okay, well, there's only 24,000 people playing this game, or whatnot.
Right.
I mean, it's not Lawbreakers.
But
Let's not not to bring that up. That was a low blow. I'll take that back. I'm sorry, Cliffy. But yeah, it just makes sense, especially in the long tail of the games where communities, well, unless you're Destiny, people are going to jump off your game at some point. You're going to have hardcore fans that are going to stick with it, but at some point people are going to move, right? And when they do, the amount of people you can play with shrinks. And so if you can combine groups, then in theory you should still have a decent amount of people to play with.
But it's not financially it doesn't make financial sense for them to have to support a game over and over, continually for those people that don't want to move. Do you know what I mean? Like, for them, it almost seems like it's a strategic plan for the game to dry up at a specific time. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll support this game.
Yeah, and Sony's been pretty bad about like discontinuing online support. Like, Gravity Rush 2 has it already lost its online, or it's going to lose its online real soon. So, I mean, that game's not that old. It came out this year, and it's already like, the online features will be useless in a month. Like, that's not good. And so maybe you're onto something. Maybe it is just something like, well, we're only looking at support for this game for the next 8 months. It's not a long tail game, so we're not going to be like supporting the game so that people on the PC can play with us. Like, who cares? We're not getting money from them. We're getting money from the people playing on the PS4.
Right.
So I don't know. It certainly doesn't look good. I'll say that. Right.
But at least, it is one of the biggest things that I hated about moving from PC to console was the fact that when we played Call of Duty, even though Call of Duty 2 wasn't big on the console anymore, we used to play a shit ton of it on the PC. And it was like, okay, you don't want to support it, but we can run our own servers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we could make communities out of that and get together and play, with those communities. And that like, I remember joining a Black Hat server, and it was like that. That was the guys that always ran the server, and those are the people that I always run into playing that game on that server.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it didn't have to be. They didn't have, like, Infinity Ward didn't have to have anything to do with it. We made a game, we made the features. You guys, if you want to support it, you guys support it. And
there were older games that you could set it up as a dedicated server.
Right.
I know that Ghost Recon used to do that, like on the original Xbox, but all that stuff kind of died. Like, I don't think you can do that with any game now.
Right.
On the console. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, this is kind of a bummer. I really want to see how this. I want to see how I ultimately, I think it doesn't benefit PC or Xbox. I don't think at all, but I do think it benefits the Switch.
Right.
I think the Switch. If more games for the Switch can take advantage of crossplay, I think it makes the Switch way more of a valuable machine.
Yes,
like, I
agree.
Like, I think I think a lot of times people buy Switches because they want to be a Nintendo, but there's no way for that console to be. And I think I've said it before. I don't think that console is the sole console. You can't buy it and just live off that one console. It's almost a console that complements another console or another system. So you
Right.
It makes it more valuable. It gives it that a boost to be actual. You know, this is the only game I'm going to play. So, or the only console I'm going to buy. So I'd be interested to see how that works, or how well this game succeeds. You know, I think we also suffer from the fact that shooters are a dime a dozen.
Yes. Yeah.
So
that's true.
The fact that Crazy Justice is gonna be this shooter that's cross. Who cares? We don't really want to play another shooter. You know, in the same, like I said,
it might be that might be the unique selling point, is that, hey, you can shoot people on the Switch and shoot people on the PC, and you know,
it's still a shitty shooter.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
So it'll be interesting to see how it works, or how well it does. Excuse me. Oh. What about what we want to talk about in news? We said we had put up a couple of things. I don't know if I really want to talk about the Naughty Dog thing, because it's the news is sort of vague on it.
Yes. Yes. I think it's horrible. Yeah. I think it's horrible. It's bad on all sorts of fronts.
Right.
And I think they've handled it very poorly so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, we will see I'm sure the coming weeks we'll see that kind of.
Well, ultimately, is just two people pointing.
Yeah, and it's, I mean,
fingers at each other, like, and there's no, you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The onus is on the victim to prove it.
Right.
And more often than not, victims can't, and so gross things happen all the time because of that.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just
but in the same aspect, there are fucking idiots out there that make false claims.
Yes.
You can't.
Yes.
It makes it harder for victims to actually come forward and say things, because It's like they don't want to be blamed. You know, they don't want to come out and be blamed for, for stupidity.
I saw somebody that was worried that this meant that The Last of Us 2 was not going to come out, was going to get canceled, and I was like, God. I can't fucking believe
that's your concern.
That is your concern, you fucking degenerate. Jesus Christ. So yes, I think it's a horrible situation.
I'll have to watch this. How it goes.
I think it's very hard for somebody to come out and say something like that, especially for a company that is much beloved by everyone.
Right.
To kind of see that it's like, oh wait, they're just as,
corporation is corporation, right?
A corporation is corporation, money's money, and we'll sweep this under because fuck, we're not going to mess with our bottom dollar. Allegedly. But
allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, the situation that was described sounds real fucking bad. Of like, hey, I'm going to complain about this thing, and the next day I'm fired. I gotta say that's fucking gross. And so, yeah.
And the funny thing is that this is not an employee that you know what I mean. Like there's this. It almost feels like there's a solid backing in the fact that, if this employee had, they're saying he's fired. If an employee was fired and you hadn't been at a company, like it makes it worse as if you hadn't been at a company for a long time.
Right.
If you're at a company, you're fairly new, less than a year, and you get fired for performance based, that's
like, well,
more likely to happen than someone who's been at a company 3, 4, Do you know what I mean? Like the
Yes.
longer you're with a company, you know, you can get lazy and
Sure,
stop doing
sure.
your job, and
Complacent.
these are reasons why you get fired. But
Yeah.
but more often than not, this is not the case. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it doesn't look good. Naughty Dog's.
No, it does not. It's yeah. So yes, I will say that is all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
I still want to know more too. So
Right.
everything is very vague right now, and I don't know.
Well,
We will find out. I'm sure of it. We at this point, like with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, and we will fucking find out about everything. Like, and I'm happy for that because this sort of behavior is not acceptable. This is really bad.
Well, that's exactly it. I want to see more news on it, just for the fact that I want more news on it and make sure
we should expose a light on this sort of behavior. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is terrible.
Right.
So yeah, especially in an industry just like the film industry is an industry where everyone wants to get to be in it. Like, if you have a passion for games, you want to be in that. You want to be like, fuck, how many times have I tried to get into these places? So it's like it's like when you're there and you have it, you don't want to lose it.
Right.
So, people can use that power over you, and it's like it's not a hard thing to do.
Right.
So yes, it's just gross. So
have you seen any Reddit has been dropping like Harry Weinstein quotes, like, there's an interview with Courtney Love from like 2005 or something.
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, they're like, can you give anyone young actress advice? If you're ever at a party with Harry Weinstein, don't go. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, they've been dropping like interviews with people like from the past decade to like 15, 20 years, where it's just like, and they're all blasting Harry Weinstein. Like, you know what I mean? It like looks like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a trail of this stuff being hidden for years among years and years and years. It's just like, this is
there was one where it was like some conversation he was having with somebody. He's like, "Don't embarrass me. Just come over here. Come on. Just come on over. Go over. Don't embarrass me. We're gonna do this. Don't embarrass me." And I'm just like, I can't listen. This is fucking. I can't even listen to this. This is. I'm out. You're fucking human trash. Get out.
Just human. Oh my god.
Just the worst. And yeah, you know what? There's people like that in every industry, and it's fucking high time we start fucking shining a light on the trash.
These
get rid of it.
People.
Yeah.
Fucking. All right. What do we got Oculus to make a VR competitor, a Gear VR competitor.
For
Samsung specifically.
Well, I mean, they're calling it a. It's like a hybrid, so it's a headset that doesn't need a computer. And so, but the games and stuff for it is going to be kind of like what you get with a Gear VR. So I'm not sure like who this is for, but it comes with like you'll have the Oculus Touch controllers too. So It's not just Gear VR. So yeah, like it's in the middle.
But what are you gonna connect to it?
I don't know. It's so like, you turn your head and whatever, and you'll see it in the video, and you'll see it in the. I think they're trying to solve the problem of VR headsets being far too clunky.
Right.
And now that they've been out for a while, the wow factor is gone, and people are like, you know what? This thing is real fucking annoying. Like, there's a gazillion cables coming out of this thing. There's a junction box. I need 7 USB things to connect it to a TV or to a computer. It's not an elegant solution by any stretch.
No, we got the Vive at work.
Yeah.
And fucking they plan like, it's like they're like, we're gonna hook this up on Friday just to, so you know what I mean, and they have to like fucking book time to make sure that fucking people weren't gonna be tripping over cables.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like the
And like
box
those,
that
you gotta
came
sell
in.
up the pylons and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so this thing doesn't have that. It doesn't have those pylons. Like it's all just kind of in the unit.
Right.
Um,
Wow.
and it's a lot cheaper too, I think.
Well, I say, you know, like I've when Jen was buying her iPhone, I remember we were at Best Buy and they had the gear, and I tried it on, and I thought it was stupid until
Right.
until the fact that I could watch
The
like
sporting
a
event thing,
sporting
right? The
event,
boxing, I
right?
think you did, or
And
yeah.
I thought this is fantastic. But now that you think about it, it's like, yeah, man, I unless it was cableless, I would like, I didn't even think about what the experience would have been like.
Yeah.
How if I was sitting at home and trying to, you know, sit on the couch with fucking cables coming out my back and trying to watch a sporting event. Yeah, it makes total sense.
While we're on VR, what do you think of Sony now making a revision to the PlayStation VR? Too soon? Not soon enough? Like, do we need this? Like, are we playing games in VR on the PlayStation? Like, is this something that we're doing?
They sold enough of it.
I guess, right? At some point, somebody said, "Yeah, we sold enough. Let's make another version."
I don't. Well, I mean, I take what we saw streaming, like when
Yes.
that PS headset came out, there were a couple streamers that were streaming it.
Yes, yes.
Now, nothing. You know
Exactly,
what I mean?
yeah.
I feel like the experience will be the exact same. For it's sort of cognizant of what the probably industry looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like no one's playing these games anymore.
Yeah. I used to hear a lot about like, hey, this game is coming out and hey, there's a VR component to it, or it's all in VR and things like that. And I'm hearing less and less about, hey, these games are coming out in VR. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right spot, but it's just kind of like not really not really as mainstream as you would think they would be, considering going into the VR thing, everybody was like, this is the fucking future. And I'm not saying it's not, but boy, oh boy, a year later and it's like, what is the big standout game that's in VR?
I'm dying to experience something revolutionary with it. Like I feel like it's a neat technology, but I don't. The only thing I've ever seen that I was like, well, I kind of want to try that was the fucking mountain climbing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would love to experience what it feel like to, because even now when I watch, like, not the roller coaster stuff so much, but when you watch videos of those fucking retards that like hang off the side of buildings and they like, hey, look at me, I got one hand. Every time you look down and you see that experience always fucking goes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching a video. In my peripheral vision is my fucking house.
I have got the exact same thing when I watch those videos of just like, I can't even. It's not vertigo, but it's pretty damn close to vertigo.
So if someone makes a VR game that's fucking, I'm the parkour idiot that hangs off buildings game.
Yeah,
I would want to play that because I would want to fucking experience.
Yeah, definitely something you'd never experience.
Right. And I feel like those experiences still don't, aren't really designed in VR.
I feel like their biggest problem is movement, and it'll always be their problem. And it'll always that I don't know. You can't solve that problem.
Well, I mean,
like,
there's
you need to move, but you can you'll warp to different spots, and you'll move a little bit, and then you'll warp to a next spot, and it's just like that's not a solution. Like, I don't want to play Fallout 4 with VR where I'm fucking warping around the world. Like, no thanks.
But that's what that.
Mind you, I don't even know if I want to play Fallout 4 in VR anyways. But
yeah. What's that? That stupid treadmill thing that's like the 360 treadmill.
Oh yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's kind of got like the ball bearing kind of floor where you can just walk on the spot. But
And
yeah,
that
but you're not setting that up in your fucking basement to play. Like at some point, you have to be like, you know, is it a hobby or is it a fetish? Like what? like, fuck, dude, I just want to play a game and shoot something or drive something or fly something and then be done with it. Like I don't want to be like, all right, let me bring in the walker, let me bring in the glide setup, let me set up the fan so I can feel wind on my face as I'm walking around. Like it's at some point you got to be like, okay, what are we doing?
I mean,
here?
those joysticks, like the HTC Vive, like if there was a thumbstick on it, isn't that a solution?
I guess, but like I still think people have your brain has this disconnect of like I'm visually seeing something in 3D moving in front of me, but I'm not. Your body isn't moving, and it gets people sick.
No, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but I thought I read that the whole reason why. Well, I don't know if this is true, because if it was true, then I would probably see it. But the another reason why people get sick from it is the fact that in your vision peripherally you see your nose.
Ah, okay, I see what you're saying.
And with these glasses, you don't have a nose.
Right.
So even though
so that's enough
my
to throw your
nose,
head off.
yeah, even though I don't actually see my nose, it's my brain has blocked it out because it's there.
Right.
But when you're playing a game, they're not putting noses in the game.
So I need a virtual nose.
You need a virtual nose.
I want a really cool virtual nose.
But then, if that was true, then
make my brain get rid of it while I'm also playing a game. So I want it there, but I don't want it there.
Yeah. They have to design a way so the nose is there, but not really there. That your brain can block it out.
We have the technology. We could do this.
Yeah. Anyways, let's end it on that one.
Let's end it on that. Virtual noses, everybody.
Virtual noses for everybody.
You get one. You get one.
Let's need it. Command add noses. There we go. Noses.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I wanted a nose. Now I got it.
There you go. No one, unless you watch episode 28, no one's gonna know what that is. There's gonna be a
Perfect.
deep.
Next
fucking
time you stream
joke.
on Tuesday, I'm hitting noses right away.
Everyone's like, what the fuck is this?
Noses? What the hell? Don't worry about
Those inside jokes, bro. Fucking, you gotta be there. Alrighty. As always, we do this every Sunday-ish from 9:30 on Mixer. I'm Gwildor, GWIDL.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. Don't worry about me. You're here. And then, of course, at Zorbsie, at ZORBSIE. Find us on Twitter at the same names. Also part of the Shed team. So, as always, peace out. Word to your mother. We'll see you guys later.